storage is growing so fast these days. So I'm assuming most of these deployments are requiring a grid forming solution like this coupled with it, or can you do it without? Or what are you guys seeing? I mean, you guys must have a really strong position in the market and enjoying rapid growth from what I hear.
So it is, everyone I think recognizes this is the future. We have limited reserves of fossil fuel on this earth. We need more clean energy, and we have fundamental problems with connecting inverter-based resources to an electric grid that was built on 20th century technology. So what do? You can either rebuild the electric grid from and upgrade it from an analog to a digital type of grid, to use my example, but or you can just simply operate and behave like a 20th century generator, essentially the same outcome. So that's how we approached it. That's what we do. But you're right. I mean, this is a critical technology. People are aware of it, but it's one of these funny things where it's the technology is ahead of the codes and standards. And so we all know that this is coming. We know it's critically important. But most of the projects that are happening around the world right now with synchronous grid forming are either accidental, like the one that I told you about, or they're pilot scale to really try to understand again the benefits of this technology, how it can replace other 20th century grid stability devices like statcons, for example, but also to really understand what's the value of this technology when connected to the electric grid. Like basically, how can we build market that incentivizes people to deploy synchronous grid forming inverters rather than just continuing to push out projects with grid following inverters? Like, can we create a way to incentivize it through a market-based model? Yeah. So people are studying this. Meanwhile, codes and standards are continuing to evolve and develop because technically, 1741, the UL standard for inverters doesn't contemplate this kind of operating behavior. So there's a little bit of contradiction there in the codes and standards. Like if you want to comply with all the UL stuff, you're in a gray area when you're doing synchronous grid forming. And so there's plenty of great committees also working on developing the codes and standards, sort of rewriting the rules so that allows these kinds of inverter-based technologies to operate in a way that adds strength, resiliency, bolsters the grid, allows us to create market mechanisms around this technology, and ultimately deploy more solar and wind.
Right. Blair, thank you so much for this deep wealth of information you shared with us on Dynapower's grid forming technology solutions. This was
it's a real pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me. I'll be back anytime. Let me know. Thank you.